Check, 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 1, 2. 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 Check, check. Check, 1, 2. Check, 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 1, 2. Cool. Okay, you can just. Check, 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 1, 2. Check, 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 1, 2. Check. Yeah, like right here is good. Welcome to Dominico Field. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. And what a better way to start off the Intercounty Baseball League season by starting it off where it finished, right here at Dominico Field, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the London Majors, and this should be a fantastic one here this afternoon.
Yeah, you said it best, partner. A rematch of the last 2 years of the IBL championship match between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the London Majors. Should be a great game.
Taking a look at the London Majors lineup for this afternoon, Austin Wilkie is leading things off in center field. Then at third base, it's Tommy Reyes Cruz, and then Cleveland Brownlee, the longtime London Major, is batting third. Eduardo Oleo coming over from professional baseball as high as AAA. He's going to be the catcher this year and filling in where Robert Mullen was last year. Then Starling Joseph in right field, Brett Graham at second base, Keith Candell at shortstop. Andrew Lawrence is in left field, and then Dan Battle is going to be taking over at first base this afternoon. And then the starting pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Julian Jr. Valdez, and he is an exciting, well, at one point was an exciting young prospect in the Toronto Maple Leafs organization coming over from the Toronto Blue Jays, I should say, organization coming over from the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. He will be a flamethrower, and you'd have to imagine his stuff will play well here in the Intercounty Baseball League.
For sure, looking to get off on the right track here at the home opener here at Christie Pitts. Another beautiful day for baseball.
So Austin Wilkie stands in, leading things off for London. Gave the Toronto Maple Leafs some leadoff trouble in a game last year, a leadoff home run. He'll call time. Already the mind game starting between Julian Jr. Valdez and Austin Wilkie, and not only the last IBL finals here, but the last two IBL finals between these two teams, as here's the first pitch, and it's swung on and fouled off down the right field line.
Yeah, a little bit of history between these two teams, you know. They've battled to the finals both times. Obviously, London capturing the glory, you might want to say, between the two. So, Toronto looking to try to get some revenge back on these guys.
Julian Valdez dumps it in there, and then Wilkie's going to dump one into right field. That's a leadoff single, and the London Majors are off on the right foot to start things out. A leadoff single against Julian Valdez. Wilkie just letting that fastball run right in on his hands, but still able to dump that one into the outfield.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of hitting right there by Wilkie. He's just kind of taking the pitch where it's going, able to dump that right in front of the right fielder for the leadoff single.
That was Justin Murray fielding that ball out there. Ryan Santos is in center field, and then J.J. Dutton is over in left. Valdez's pitch is fouled back, strike one. Russell at third base, Jose Vinicio, who was a signing last year coming over from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, widely known as one of the best defenders in the Intercounty Baseball League, and the only other guy that might be better, Keith Candell, playing shortstop for the London Majors. Throw over to first base, gets away. Jordan Castaldo down to second, and that one's going to bounce away as well. So into second base is Austin Wilkie, as that will go as, we'll have to see. It was a pick off to first base. I'm not sure if that one bounced in front of Jordan Castaldo or not, but now there's a runner in scoring position with nobody out, and Junior Valdez has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, it looks like the trainer will come out as well to look at Wilkie. He's had a little bit of an awkward slide into second base. You know, the throw from first, I believe it hit off of him, and then he kind of had a roll over there at second. Stayed on the ground for a bit, but did get up. Looks like he'll be okay.
Austin Wilkie is widely known as being one of the faster players in the Intercounty Baseball League as well, and that ball did not get away far from Jordan Castaldo, but Austin Wilkie aggressive to start off this ball game and get into second base.
Yeah, only a few feet really, and just that killer instinct on the base pass.
So Tommy Reyes Cruz is standing in here, a lefty for the London Majors. Check, check. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. And it's Ryan Santos leading things off, and he takes in the dirt. So the count is now 2-1 on the speedy center fielder for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
You see him sporting that pink arm sleeve there for Mother's Day today. So if you're listening, happy Mother's Day to everybody in the stands and at home watching.
Owen Boone is the pitcher on the mound for the London Majors, and what a season Owen Boone had as he delivers a strike 2-2. 10-0 in the regular season. It took him all the way to the playoffs to lose a baseball game in the Inter-County. Boone has been one of the best pitchers in the IBL over the last couple seasons. Gets the opening day start for the London Majors.
For sure. When you're as dominant as he was last year, I mean, you're going to get the opening day start for your team the following year. A couple of us were checking some stats pregame. A couple games he had last year, 9 innings pitched of just pure dominance out of Boone.
Pitch up and away, now 3-2. Ryan Santos doing exactly what he needs to do if he's going to be the new leadoff hitter for the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. Brings a lot of speed and now working the count. 3-2 against Owen Boone. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Boone gets him on a high fastball. And here comes Jose Vinicio.
Just the high heat getting past Santos right there. And Boone, just as we've known for him to do, starting off strong here.
So as you may know, the Toronto Maple Leafs have had a whole lot of turnover in their organizational staff this season. A lot of the players coming back for the Maple Leafs. Jose Vinicio, one of the guys that was part of that IBL's final team for the Maple Leafs last year. The guy on deck, Justin Mara, as well. But a new coach, Damon Topley, here for many years, and now Rob Butler taking over as the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Rob Butler will be known in many facets here around Toronto as the 2001 IBL batting champ, where he hit .488 in that season in 2001 for the Maple Leafs. And that was right after coming up playing in Major League Baseball, which I hear is a pretty good league.
It's all right, you know.
Yeah.
Just down the street, I think there's one team here.
Rob Butler, the only Canadian to win a World Series with the Blue Jays. Jose Vinicio is going to foul that one off down the left field line. Now 2 strikes.
Nice catch by one of the fans down there. Wow. Sign him up. Almost took out somebody walking their dog, but they got out of the way just in time. So there were no dogs harmed on this Maple Leafs live stream.
Yeah, that's Bobby down the left field line. He's down there shagging balls almost every game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you will see more of those highlight reel catches from him.
I cannot wait.
He will lay out for the ball. It's going to be an exciting season. 2-2 to Jose Vinicio, and Owen Boone from the full windup. Here's the pitch. Swing and just getting a piece of it was Vinicio. He fouls it off.
With a pitcher as dominant as Boone on the mound, if you're the Maple Leafs hitters, you just got to kind of keep working these counts. Get his pitch count up as much as you can and just try to drive him out of this game as quickly as you can.
Pitch count at 12 so far for Owen Boone. Here's number 13, and it's a little looper. Actually, that one's carrying into the outfield. Sterling Joseph is there. He makes the catch. Boy, that ball carried and carried. Didn't make much sound off the bat from Jose Vinicio, and it ended up being a relatively deep fly ball.
One of those windy days here in Toronto.
Yeah, the wind's kind of swirling out there in the outfield. You can see the center field flags just kind of going back and forth, but for the most part, it's been a stiff wind coming straight in from center field, and it is a chilly afternoon.
Very, very chilly afternoon.
So this is Jordan Castaldo, and as many of you may know, Jordan Castaldo has said this will be his last season in the Intercounty Baseball League, a guy who won the Triple Crown in 2019 and has had a 300 batting average in almost every single playoffs and regular season on his stat card. Jordan Castaldo, a veteran of this league, and he's been a real IBL legend over the last, I don't even know how many years he's been in the league. It's been a while though.
For sure, and when you leave behind that good of a legacy, it's always a shame to see them go, but you got to enjoy the moment that you're in.
Also kind of nice though, Jordan Castaldo will start and end his career with the Toronto Maple Leafs after a long stint with the Barrie Baycats. There's a check swing by Castaldo when he went around. That's strike 3. Owen Boone strikes out 2 in the inning, gets a flyout of Jose Vinicio, and a clean first inning for the London Majors righty. We'll go to the top of the second inning. Thomas West and Zach Benoit. It's Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. Check, check. Check, check. Welcome back. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs and London Majors here on a chilly afternoon at Dominico Field. Top of the second inning. Julian Valdez trying to settle in after a bit of a rocky first inning that he got out of with a double play ball. Keith Candell is leading off. First pitch in there for strike 1.
And a good start right there by Valdez. Get some confidence here in the young 24-year-old.
The 0-1 from Valdez. Little check swing foul. And you can tell that velocity starting to eat up Keith Candell just a little bit.
Gotta wonder if, these little bit of chilly conditions we're having here so far have anything to do in the way Valdez is pitching. A little rocky in that first inning.
Pitch is just high. Valdez looking in, wanted the call. It must have been close. It certainly isn't going to be easy to hit a ball out of the ballpark here at Dominico Field. At least not as easy as it usually is. This is one of the smaller ballparks. Well, it is the smallest ballpark in the Intercounty Baseball League, but the wind is blowing straight in from center field. Here's a soft ground ball. Jose Vinicio scoops it up, whips over to first to get the speedy Keith Candell. There's one away.
Nice play right there by shortstop Vinicio. Like you said, gets the speed and gets that first out, and hopefully helping Valdez get on a little bit of a roll here. Try to retire some of these batters quickly so his team get back in the dugout, get back on those sticks.
Valdez trying to work ahead in the count. That's something he didn't do in the first inning, and that'll help. First pitch to Dan Battle. It's in there for a strike, and it's fouled off. It is really cold. Holy cow, that wind is just piercing.
And if you're wondering, it's 6 km/h winds heading in that southwestern direction.
Obviously, you'd have no perspective on direction watching from home.
But for us, it's just smacking us right in the face.
But for a hitter as well, I know you've had a bit of baseball experience yourself. When it gets chilly and you get a ball in on the hands, it just hurts so much more.
Yeah, it rings through those arms.
Battle was squaring to bunt. The pitch was up and away. 2-1.
Also helps a hard thrower like Valdez. You have the wind to your back, so you're throwing. That's adding maybe another 2-3 miles per hour on your pitches. So if you can just start getting that command down like he has been so far this inning, he's looking for a good start.
Ground ball to Vinicio again. Picks it up. Throws to first right on the money. 3 for 3 is Jose Vinicio on some tricky hops at shortstop. 2 away.
It's great footwork right there by Vinicio. Coming around the bag. He knows he has time and makes a bang-bang throw over there to first base.
So this will be pitch number 30 here coming from Julian Valdez. And considering he had a bases-loaded walk and a double play to get out of it, the pitch count is not egregious at this point in the second inning. If he can get a quick out here, all of a sudden Valdez is in really good shape as that one's fouled back. So that was actually Andrew Lawrence who grounded out to shortstop. Now it's Dan Battle, the batter for the London Majors. Valdez's pitch is way inside.
2 quick outs here for the Maple Leafs. Trailing 1-0, top of the second.
The 1-1. Hit in the air to center field. That one's going to drop. Santos has to play it on a couple hops. And that's a single from the number 9 hitter, Dan Battle, and that'll turn the lineup over with 2 outs here for the Majors.
Brings up that leadoff hitter, Austin Wilkies. Singled in the first to right field, came around and scored. Really showed off that good speed that he has.
Infield and outfield playing Wilkie straight away. The first pitch is over the outside corner for strike 1. Remember, these players that are coming in from the Dominican Republic, especially from the players that were here on the Toronto Maple Leafs, have not had a lot of time to get things going, and especially when you look at a guy like Valdez, and then with the new catcher in Justin Mara, they don't have pitch comp in the Intercounty Baseball League, so there's a lot to get sorted out here in not much time to start out the season.
Yeah, very, very different than Double-A New Hampshire for sure. Different weather conditions too. It might be a little more chilly up here in the north.
I would say that's definitely true.
The sunny, blistering days down there in the DR compared to Canada. Just a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. Between Santo Domingo and New Hampshire, this is probably the coldest weather that Julian Valdez has had to play in a while. Over the outside corner, strike 3 called. The first strikeout as a Toronto Maple Leaf for Julian Jr. Valdez as we head to the bottom of the second inning, and the bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up. So Justin Mara is going to lead things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs up against Owen Boone, who worked 1-2-3 top of the first or bottom of the first inning.
2 strikeouts and a flyout to right for the Majors pitcher.
Pitch is just inside to Justin Mara. Justin, one of 3 brothers on the Toronto Maple Leafs. His brother Dan, who playing second base tonight, and then in the bullpen, Adam Mara, a sidewinding lefty. When new GM Jeff Lounsbury was constructing this team, likely very happy to have the trio of Mara brothers back for the Maple Leafs again.
For sure, bringing back all 3. Also, Justin Mara has that big legacy here with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Swings and misses at that one, 2-2. To which legacy are you referring? Last year, his legacy was the leader in team home runs. 6 of them last season, but he swings and misses at this one, up and away. Justin Mara has hit over 300 in each of the last 4 seasons he's played in the Intercounty Baseball League.
Just something you love to see, having that consistency from your back catcher.
Yeah, especially as a catcher. If there's any position that you want it to be the same from year to year, you'd think it would be the leader on the infield. So this is Julian Russell, the batter now for the Toronto Maple Leafs, making his Intercounty Baseball League debut.
Yeah, watch that first pitch go by.
2-0 now, 3-0. Justin Murray is on deck for the Maple Leafs.
And this Maple Leaf squad still has yet to really figure out Owen Boone. 3 Ks through 4 batters.
The 3-1. Inside, ball 4. The first base runner for the Maple Leafs. It comes with 1 away. 3 strikeouts for Owen Boone. That's his first walk. And then here's Justin Murray. Justin Murray, a big right-handed bat, coming out of Markham, Ontario. Just 20 years old, standing at 6'4". Justin Murray plays at Benedict College, and if you're familiar with minor baseball in Toronto, there's a huge swing and a miss, strike 1. He's a former Toronto Met. Oh, 1 to Murray. Takes inside. Maple Leafs are very excited with their new young players, Justin Murray being one of them, the guy at first base as well, Russell. Aiden McCaskey will be joining the team at some point, but he's busy right now, as yesterday Aiden McCaskey's team won the Region 7 championship with his Chattanooga Tigers. Got a 9-6 win, so they'll be moving on. So Aiden McCaskey, I guess, will be a couple weeks away.
Got to finish out those college days games and bring the talents back up north here into Toronto.
Yeah, if you're a college baseball player and you're still playing baseball, not here in the Intercounty, you're probably having a pretty good season.
Yeah, you have a deep playoff run going for sure.
Aiden McCaskey's going to go to Charleston Southern University next year. Murray takes over the outside corner, strike 3 called. That's number 4 for Owen Boone, and now there's 2 away, and that runner on first base still stranded. So from one exciting young player to another, it's Robin Fox Pappas, who played in the IBL last year. He was a member of the Hamilton Cardinals. Fox Pappas had a dreadful regular season, to say the least, with the Cardinals last year, but then really turned it on in the playoffs. Hit .098 in the regular season, then in 8 playoff games with the Hamilton Cardinals, hit .318, and was a massive part of that upset win over the Guelph Royals in round 1 for his team.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Really, one of the main reasons why the Cardinals were able to have that sneaky little run in the playoffs. And the Maple Leafs saw that and picked him right on up. See if we can recreate that success here.
Fox Pappas is going to foul this one off, so now behind in the count, 1-2.
That one reaches the top of the hill here.
In 2019, Fox Pappas played for George Brown College, where he hit .404 over 2 seasons, the last one in 2019. Fox Pappas also actually isn't really a young gun player either. I mean, he's 31 years old, but he's new to the
mindset.
Yeah. Big presence at the plate, though. 6'4", 225. 2-2 count now. Owen Boone trying to get through another relatively clean inning here with just the 1 leadoff walk. Fox Pappas just barely gets a piece of it as he fouls it off.
Just really kind of seems that Boone is just in a rhythm right now. Everything coming easy to him. Getting through these hitters with just relative ease.
2-2 again. Long pause, now the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Make that 5 strikeouts for Owen Boone through 2 innings. And the London Majors continue to lead 1-0. We head to the third. It's London 1, Toronto 0. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. Tommy Reyes Cruz leading off. Reyes Cruz 0 for 1 today, and now behind in the count 0-2.
Flowed to right field his last time up.
Swinging a ball that's going to get to the backstop. It's strike 3. Mara has no play at first base, so it'll go as a strikeout for Julian Valdez, but now a runner on first base. And that one might have just taken a wicked hop off the front corner of the plate. And not much chance for Justin Mara. So it'll bring Cleveland Brownlee to the plate. Brownlee coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. Cleveland Brownlee takes strike 1. Eduardo de Oleo stands on deck. They'll get an at-bat here in the 3rd inning. Brownlee's going to foul it straight back, and it bangs off the press box.
I'm just waiting for the day one of them comes up our way here.
I've never caught one. I've talked about it a lot, as one does, sitting in a broadcast booth. But
I'll start bringing gloves to games, just in case one does happen to make a way up here.
Just don't let it hit the camera. That would be expensive.
A lot of things on this table are.
This one's popped up. Where is it?
Almost right after we start talking about it. Wow.
I was probably 15 feet from the camera right after saying that. That's incredible. That also is probably the closest I've ever got to having a baseball as well.
I don't know what luck we just had, but after this, me and Thomas are going to the casino.
Oh, trust me, hitting the camera would not be lucky. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Julian Valdez gets Brownlee swinging, and now he has to face another tough righty in Oleo.
Big strikeout there on Brownlee. Like you said, one of those IBL players that has a history of being dominant. To get that out is huge.
Yeah, Brownlee will provide a lot of power, but also has always provided a lot of strikeouts as well. So 1 out, double play ball is in order, and this one's skied in the air. Jose Vinicio looking for it. Now it's the third baseman, Russell. He comes over and makes the catch. That one was a mile high. And Julian Valdez, just like that, gives up a leadoff base runner and 2 consecutive outs. And trying to work through the top of the third in relatively efficient style.
Very different to how Valdez started this game off. It was a little bit rocky, fighting his control, gave the leadoff hit, but really ever since then, he's shut it down. He's looked very, very dominant. And another dominant hitter coming up, Starling Joseph.
Joseph walked. That was the way they got their first run. Here's a line drive to center field, caught by Santos. Hard hit ball by Starling Joseph. But Julian Valdez is through 3 in what's turning out to be a pretty good start in his first one as a Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the bottom of the third inning, the bats for the Maple Leafs coming up. So Dan Mara leading things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're trailing 1-0 to the London Majors. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Owen Boone on the mound. He has been dominant through 2 innings.
8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up. Owen Boone nearly facing the minimum so far. and just continuing to pump the zone.
Has thrown 40 pitches thus far. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are getting deep in counts. But Owen Boone has been striking them out the majority of the time. But now 3-1 to Dan Mara, the second baseman for Toronto. Mara takes in there now 3-2. Another full count from Owen Boone. The 3-2. Swinging a ground ball, chopper to shortstop. Candell whips it to first, but it's over the head of the first baseman. He actually leaped and caught that baseball, but Dan Mara is going to reach first base, which will likely go down as an error on the shortstop, Candell.
Good hustle down the line right there by Mara. And again, Maple Leafs have a base runner on, and question is now, are they going to be able to have an answer back for Boone?
So here's J.J. Dutton. Takes way inside, 0-1. Pitches in there, 1-1. J.J. Dutton, another young Maple Leaf, 20 years old. Down and away, 2-1. Last played for the Indian Hills Warriors. 42 games there, a .325 average, a homer, 24 RBIs, and 13 stolen bases for the 20-year-old.
Indian Hills, is that out in the NJCAA? I believe.
I think so, yeah.
I believe that's the out in Iowa. Same league that I played in for one semester.
Did you really?
Yes, out there with Southwestern Community College.
You were saying you recognized the name J.J.
Yeah.
Dutton, too. Two-two. Dutton battling away against a tough righty. Swing and a miss. Strike three. That looked like a nasty breaking ball down and in. And there's one away. Back to the top of the order for Ryan Santos.
9 batters have faced Boone, and 9 have gone down via a strikeout. So far, Owen Boone looking locked in.
Ryan Santos was one of those batters who struck out in his first at-bat, although did work the count to 3-2 before striking out swinging.
Specialty right there, Santos. Good eye at the plate, and a lot of speed coming out of that left-hander batter box.
If Ryan Santos can get the ball on the ground, nice pickup, by the way, by Dan Battle over there at first base on a short hop pickoff throw. If he can get the ball on the ground, it could be trouble for these Majors infielders. And you can see the third baseman, Tommy Reyes, cruises right in on the grass. Santos has a good cut and fouls it right back, 1-1. Ryan Santos is a former Toronto Maple Leaf as well. He played for the Leafs back in the 2020 season. Didn't play last year, but this Maple Leafs team and his teammates have seen the kind of speed that he brings to the table. Breaking ball from Boone was inside, 2-1.
He actually just graduated from Tusculum College, or universities, excuse me.
Over the outside corner. That was a much better breaking ball that time from Owen Boone. 2-2 to Santos. Here's a fly ball, left field. It's drifting towards the line, and the catch is made out there by Andrew Lawrence, 2 away.
Just got underneath it a little bit. Read the pitch, took it the other way, just couldn't do anything with it. And again, Owen Boone just continuing to roll here against this Maple Leafs team.
So you just saw on the screen there, Sam Green is getting warmed up in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. You'd have to imagine that Valdez will be coming out for the 4th inning. But Sam Green is no joke. He was a guy who came in, and I don't think a lot of people knew who Sam Green was at the time. This could be a tough play for Andrew Lawrence. He goes towards the fence, and it's out of play.
We had the Ball Hawks on the field going for it, and even the ones off the field here on the sidelines going as well.
It will be very interesting to see what Sam Green brings to the table, as you'd imagine that he'll be coming into this game at some point today. Sam Green, a 4.87 ERA in the regular season last year, but he had a few outings that he went multiple innings and was just brilliant. In fact, one of his best outings came in the last one of the year in an 8-3 loss to the London Majors in the playoffs, where he went 3 innings. Sam Green will be a very important piece in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen, trying to bridge the gap between the starter and then the back-end relievers for Toronto. Jose Vinicio was telling the runner to stop, but then Dan Mara realized that the catcher didn't see that ball between his legs and alertly advances to second base. And Jose Vinicio, who's a fantastic singles hitter, now has a really good opportunity to drive in a run and tie up the ball game.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of confusion. Even from the umpire didn't know where the ball went. He was running out of the way. But Vinicio picked it up immediately.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about that too, that might have been Jose Vinicio telling him to go.
Yeah, it looked like he might have been waving him over.
Yeah.
Next thing we got to do is get some binoculars from up here in our vantage point. But
3-1 on Jose Vinicio, and he'll likely have the green light all day, although a really good hitter in Jordan Castaldo is on deck. Vinicio does bring some pop as well. We saw him reach that right field wall a couple times last year. He takes in there for a strike, and now Castaldo will go get his bat because Jose Vinicio had tossed it away thinking that was ball 4.
Really been a pitcher's duel for the majority of this game. Besides the opening inning, both pitchers have settled down nicely. Offenses haven't been able to crack the code.
Vinicio hits a ball on the ground to Keith Candell. He's going to have to be quick. Whips it over to first in time to get Jose Vinicio. And Owen Boone walks into the 2-out runner on second base situation. And believe it or not, that's the toughest situation that Owen Boone has had to face this afternoon. His team, the London Majors, leading 1-0 as we head to the 4th inning. 1-0 London Majors, top of the 4th inning. Sam Green into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's making his season debut. Really good last season for Sam Green. Came in and really made a name for himself in the Intercounty Baseball League. And what will the 2023 edition of Sam Green look like? Check swing, did he go? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire. Count now 1-2 to Sam Green, or for Sam Green. Batter is Ben Graham for London. He swings and misses, strike 3. Good start for Green. Here's one away.
You said good start. Sam Green coming out of the bullpen. And it did end the day for Julian Jr. Valdez. Went 3 innings, struck out 2, only allowed the 1 run. So for first start here for the Maple Leafs, not too shabby whatsoever.
And year after year, the London Majors have produced one of the best lineups, if not the best lineup in the Intercounty Baseball League as well. So I think the Toronto Maple Leafs will be very happy with the start that they got from their Dominican import pitcher. Keith Candell, the batter, has had a lot of work, as has Jose Vinicio at shortstop this afternoon.
Candell in his last plate appearance actually did ground out to Vinicio at shortstop.
He swings and misses, strike 3. Sam Green got him on 3 pitches, and there's 2 away. And he'll strut around the back of the mound.
Welcome into the game, Sam Green. Back-to-back punchies.
This is exactly what we saw from Sam Green most of the time last year. A lot of strikeouts and just locating his pitches really, really well. Little chopper, and that one's going to flare into the outfield, and it gets by Justin Murray. Here's a throw into second base. It was close. Jose Vinicio might have been trying to deke the runner to not slide, and he did, but the throw was not in time.
I believe that'll go down as a single with an error for Justin Murray out there in right field. Got it back in quickly though, almost a chance to get him at second. Not able to though, unfortunately.
Yeah, despite the error, a good arm there. It was a cannon to second base, Jose Vinicio from Murray. Andrew Lawrence, the left fielder, takes low and inside, ball 1. Andrew Lawrence is 0 for 1 today. He fouls it off.
Almost hit a pass. Passerby there on the other side of the street.
Yeah, it hit a passerby, almost someone's window, the ice cream truck.
But still not over towards us.
And they've got the runner picked off, throw to third base, and Sam Green picks off the guy who got on via a single and an error. So that is basically a 1-2-3 clean inning from Sam Green. What a start. A pickoff and 2 strikeouts. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are coming up to bat. They trail 1-0 to the London Majors. So fantastic top of the 4th inning, worked by Sam Green with 2 strikeouts and a pickoff. I'm Thomas West, alongside Zach Benoit, joining you here on a chilly afternoon at Dominico Field, as the first pitch from Owen Boone in his 4th inning of work is outside for ball 1.
And really, you know, since our last weather update all the way back there in the 2nd inning, the wind has picked up to 7 kilometers an hour in that southwestern direction. And it's feeling like 15, but it's saying the winds are making it feel colder.
I can tell you it does not feel like 15. High fly ball by Jordan Castaldo down the left field line, and be about 16 feet out of foul territory. Count is 1-1. Jordan Castaldo playing for his hometown team, born here in Toronto, Ontario. Castaldo hits one high in the air, left field line. That one's going to hook foul again.
Some dangerous hitters coming up here for Toronto. You have Castaldo, and then you have Justin Mara. Back-to-back guys who have the pop, the ability to tie this game up. Maple Leafs still only trailing by 1.
Check swing, did he go? I think he did. Yes, says the home plate umpire. Castaldo will have a conversation about it, but that's going to go as strike 3. And here's Justin Mara.
For just starting into the 4th here, 7 strikeouts by Owen Boone. Just dominance on the mound from the London Majors pitcher.
So here's Justin Mara. Pitches up and away to him. Justin Mara, a 15th round draft pick of the Chicago Cubs a couple of years back. He swings and misses.
Something cool that I got to witness here by calling the games for Humber College is that Justin Mara actually got honored in Humber's Hall of Fame for their baseball team.
Yeah, played at Humber College. He's had a lot of really cool experiences playing for the Quebec Capitals in the Quebec League as well. And then in minor leagues, he played 3 years in the Chicago Cubs organization in 2015 before coming here to the Maple Leafs. Pitches in the dirt to Justin Mara, now 2-2 with the count. Toronto Maple Leafs still looking for their first hit of the ball game. They have 1 base runner. Marek Deska getting loose. There's some debate whether he was going to be a starting pitcher or a relief pitcher. He's done a little bit of both for this Maple Leafs team. I think you'll see him in a starting role at some point. Candelo charging in. Mara hustling to first base, and it gets away. It goes into the bullpen, but Justin Mara is going to stay right there.
And I believe
that's probably an infield hit.
Yeah, that should go down as an infield hit. So if that's the case, that's the first hit for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this 2023 IBL season.
And it was a stinger.
Off the radar gun at a solid 99. Nothing weaker than that. Now, I don't know if you felt it too, partner, but for a split second, the wind stopped blowing, and it was a nice day.
Yeah.
And then it just started picking back up again.
Julian Russell swings and misses. Russell officially 0 for 0. He walked in his first plate appearance. Russell takes over the outside corner now behind in the count, 2-1. And with this being opening day in the Intercounty Baseball League, everyone is available in that London Majors bullpen. And even if Owen Boone, the Maple Leafs are able to chase Owen Boone, who they've been struggling against, as Russell calls time at the last possible second, there's still a lot of really nasty options coming out of the London Majors bullpen. A guy we saw last year in Fernando Fernandez, who is even more valuable than just what he brings to the table in terms of his fantastic pitching. Also a guy who's not an import, coming out of Quebec. And as many know in the Intercounty Baseball League, having really good players like Owen Boone and Fernando Fernandez not being imports, that's really important, because you only get 4 imports on your team per year, and a lot of the time those guys come out of the Dominican Republic, as we see on this Toronto Maple Leafs team. But having your really good players and not having to use an import pick on him, that's massive for London.
For sure. And part of the reason why this team has been so dominant for as many years as they have.
Swinging a foul tip, held on by the catcher Duel. And that's strikeout number 8 now for Owen Boone.
8 on the day through 3 2/3. Boone is rolling, and if you're a listener at home, you just got to tip your cap to a stellar pitching performance.
So Justin Murray is the batter now. Murray started off the first pitch of his Intercounty Baseball League career by taking an absolute massive hack. Looking for the fences, has since
shortened up a little bit.
You don't need to take a massive hack to get it over that wall in left field. I'll tell you that much, but Justin Murray was trying to make an imp, and there it is again. Swing and a huge miss by Justin Murray.
One of these days here at Christie Pitt, he is going to connect with it, and it's going to be skyrocket over there to the skate park behind left field.
Yeah, hopefully there's no Little League games going on. Another big rip and a miss. 2-2.
His last plate appearance, he went down looking on strikes. They have the base runner with Justin Mara on first, trying to just generate him, get him around.
And there goes the runner, a massive jump, and it's fouled off towards the first base side, and it's going to get out of play just past the arm of Battle. And you're thinking right there, well, why didn't Justin Murray take the pitch? Well, he did have 2 strikes on him, and he didn't want to go down looking. And I guess Murray figured that pitch was well in the strike zone.
You know, one of those tough ones, the 50-50, do I swing, do I don't? And obviously it's hard when you see Mara have that big of a jump off of first base. But it looked like more of a protect me hack there from Murray. So we'll do it all over again.
Yeah, Justin Mara is not slow over there at first base, but he's certainly not known as a base stealer either. Murray, big cut, fouls it off. The first couple hacks that we saw, which Murray almost lost his batting helmet, he swung so hard, seemed not particularly mechanically sound, but these last couple, he's starting to see Owen Boone's pitches pretty well. He's just a little bit late. See if he can connect with one here. Swinging a ground ball to shortstop. Candell, nice stop, goes to second for 1. And that's all they'll need for Owen Boone to get out of the inning. Nice defensive play by Keith Candell as he gets his pitcher, Owen Boone, out of the inning. 1-0 London Majors. You're watching Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Dan Battle is going to get things started for London, the number 9 hitter. He's playing first base this afternoon. First pitch from Sam Green is lined into the outfield, and that one's going to get down. A leadoff single for Dan Battle. That's his second hit of the afternoon.
And what a way to lead off the top of the 5th right there for London. Get that number 9 batter on base, and they turn over the order. And we're back to the top to Austin Wilkie.
Dan Battle leaning over there at first base. Green, a slide step to the plate. Boy, he got to the plate really fast, but delivered outside, ball 1.
Keep an eye on that runner over there at first base. Try to give Mara a good chance if he does go.
Here's a ball hit in the air. This one seems playable, maybe not. It's drifting back to the wall and clangs up against the wall. Justin Murray has to dig it out. Battle's going to pull up at third base. It's a ringing double for Austin Wilkie. Boy, that ball just kept carrying and carrying, and you can see the flags out there now pointed straight out towards right field. And now the Maple Leafs and Sam Green are in some hot water with that nobody out double by Austin Wilkie, and the best hitters in this lineup are coming up now for London.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough here for the Maple Leafs. Sam Green really just needs to grit down here. Might need to trade an out for a run. Like you were saying, that ball off the bat of Austin Wilkie just kept on going towards that fence. Got up there in the wind's path, and it just carried it out.
Swinging a foul straight back.
So far on the day, Tommy Reyes-Cruz, he flew out to right field, and he reached first his last time via the drop third strike.
Cleveland Brownlee awaits on deck. Reyes-Cruz takes outside. Count now 2-1. Tommy Reyes-Cruz coming out of Montreal, Quebec. Three and one now. Reyes-Cruz was playing at Faulkner University and came over here to London. Fouls one straight back once again as that one clangs up against the backstop. Green's pitch, low, ball 4. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Cleveland Brownlee. And Cleveland Brownlee has a lot of potential and can be really dangerous in terms of driving in a run, but also a serious double play candidate. The Toronto Maple Leafs wanted to go home to first, but Sam Green has got to try and induce a ground ball from a tough hitter first.
You said it best, dangerous situation. Cleveland Brownlee was hit by a pitch in the first, struck out in the third, has a chance to change the landscapes of this game.
Good start, strike 1. Cleveland Brownlee didn't like it. Cleveland Brownlee hit .335 last year. With 15 home runs for the London Majors, and there was a lot of people that thought Cleveland Brownlee was going to retire before last season. Not the case, came back and had an unbelievable season for London.
Really just showed that he can still keep it going.
52 RBIs in 42 games last year for Brownlee. It not only was a great season for him, Cleveland Brownlee has been an unbelievable player throughout his time in the Intercounty Baseball League. He's a serious veteran right now in this league. In fact, he might be one of the oldest players in the Intercounty Baseball League. But that was one of the best seasons Cleveland Brownlee has ever put together at a .335 batting average. You have to go back way back to 2016 where he hit .364 as he swings and misses, strike 2.
Sometimes you just age like fine wine. And that's the case right there for Cleveland Brownlee.
52 RBIs was a career high in 2022 for Cleveland Brownlee. Unbelievable. The 2-2 again from Sam Green. It's a swing and a fly ball to center field, not particularly deep. Ryan Santos comes in, makes the catch. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's way offline, and Sam Green is backing up the play to avoid the runners moving up to third base. So a sac fly from Cleveland Brownlee. That'll go as his first RBI of the season. But now a much more manageable situation for Sam Green with first and second and 1 out.
Said it best right there, partner. Very manageable to do it now. Ground ball can get 2, gets you out of the inning, limits the damage. And like I said before, Brownlee came to bat. Sometimes you just got to trade an out for a run.
Eduardo De Aleo, the batter, takes a strike. Breaking ball from Sam Green, had a look, but he's low, 1-1. Two dangerous hitters here in Aleo and then Starling Joseph, who's on deck. Here's the 1-1 from Sam Green, just inside, 2-1. Starling Joseph had the bases loaded in his first at-bat. He walked to push in a run. Top of the 5th inning, 2-0 London Majors, and looking for more. The 2-1. Over the outside corner, 2-2.
Nice pitch right there by Green. Evens up the count. Now if I'm Green, I'm going at him here with a fastball. Challenge pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. How about that from Sam Green as he gets out the 30-year-old with AAA experience. And it's a big one. 2 away, first and second, and now Starling Joseph.
It doesn't get any easier now, does it, with Starling Joseph coming up. Line out to center field his last time up. Reached via walk back in the first. Big test right here for Sam Green.
2 righties here coming up, Starling Joseph and then another one in Brett Graham. Pitch to Joseph is way outside, 1-1. Brett Graham, who's on deck, also has some pretty good baseball experience as well. A young guy, 23 years old, but played at Salem University. That's Division II in the NCAA. Also played a little bit of independent baseball. There's a breaking ball, and Joseph drops to the ground. Obviously nothing intentional there, as that pitch was so slow that Starling Joseph was actually able to fall before that pitch got to the plate.
A little bit of an exchange between the two there, the batter and the hitter. All smiles and laughing, though, for sure.
2-1 from Green. Up and in. 3-1. Starling feeling Joseph might have gone after a pitch that was a bit outside. He fouls it back, and some new life here for Sam Green. The majority of Sam Green's outings last year were of the one-inning variety, be it a few where he stretched things out and went 3 or 4. Merrick Deska looks ready to come into this game, though. Runners are going. Joseph fouls it off, a timid swing at home plate.
That excuse me swing right there by Joseph kind of got crossed up with what Green was delivering him. I believe it was a breaking ball in the inner half. If you hear the clapping, it was all started by the Bushman over there down the left field line.
3-2. Outside, ball 4. That brings Brett Graham to the plate with a whole bunch of ducks on the pond and 2 outs. So Rob Butler comes out to the mound to have a word with the young pitcher Sam Green, but it looks like he's going to stay in the ball game. And now it's Brett Graham who comes to the plate. Played in 2021 with the Muskegon Clippers in the Great Lakes Collegiate Summer League of the North Division. In his career with the Salem Tigers in Division II NCAA, he had a .282 batting average, 8 stolen bases, a couple homers. Green's first pitch swung on and missed. A big cut from Graham. This will be pitch number 39 coming here from Green. Outside, 1-1. Sam Green comes from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Swing and a miss. A couple breaking balls from Sam Green have appeared to hit the mark.
Really kind of back and forth Sam Green has been today. Came into the game, got back-to-back Ks. Started this inning off rocket, but he's looking to settle down here.
Swinging a ground ball to third base. It eats up the runner, and then a tag is applied to get the out. Oh my goodness. Julian Russell at third base had a tricky hop off the edge of the grass and then alertly decided to tag the runner on the way by to get the out. That was an exciting finish to the 5th inning, and both times the London Majors have had the bases loaded. They've just been able to get the 1 run. It's 2-0 London as we head to the 6th, or the bottom of the 5th. The Toronto Maple Leafs coming up. 2-0 London Majors. Bottom of the 5th inning. Lots of time to go, but the Leafs bats have got to get to work here against Owen Boone, who delivers strike 1.
Boone, who has looked unbeatable so far. I mean, 8 strikeouts on the day through 4 innings of work. Done a lot of damage to this Toronto Maple Leafs team.
Robin Fox Pappas is the batter. He's ahead in the count. 2 of the 4 innings the Toronto Maple Leafs have faced Owen Boone, they've actually got the leadoff runner on base. Fox Pappas trying to continue the trend. Takes way outside, 3-1.
Something we've kind of seen so far each inning with Boone is he'll struggle with the control for a batter, but then immediately lock it down almost instantaneously the next.
Pappas fouls it off. Three-two, full count. Boone, the pitch, outside, ball 4. Robin Fox Pappas will head down to first base, and the big righty is aboard. Dan Mara coming up.
First walk of the day for Boone. And Pappas, good job to work that count. Let's see if the Maple Leafs can get anything rolling here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Justin Mara is the only batter with a hit against Owen Boone, and it was an infield hit. This one's lined to center field, and it's gonna drop. Really good read by Robin Fox Pappas to move up to second base. That had force out at second written all over it. Dan Mara gets the second hit of the ball game for the Maple Leafs. It's a blooper into center field.
And some might call that the caster curse. You bring up the one hit, and immediately after, Dan Mara says, I can do it too, just like my brother. And he gets the hit for the Maple Leafs.
I think there's a possibility of a bunt play being on here with J.J. Dutton. We'll see.
If there is, watch for the wheel. You can kind of see the third baseman setting up there at about 90 degrees.
Not bunting. Pitches over the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1 to Dutton. Inside, gets away from Aleo, but not far enough to advance the runners. Swinging a foul off by Dutton, and that's now pitch number 92 from Owen Boone. That pitch count is really getting up there. We're just in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, and that was kind of the key thing I brought up earlier in the broadcast for this Maple Leaf squad. You need to get to Boone, work those counts, get him out of this game as quick as you can. He's showing the damage that he can do on that mound.
Pitch in the dirt, 2-2. Good eye there by Dutton. Yeah, so I was just looking down in that bullpen. Yeah, that's Pedro de los Santos warming up. He has been a starter most of the time for the London Majors, but appears that he might be in a bullpen role after having a bit of a down year last year after being one of the best pitchers in the IBL in 2021. Dutton swings and misses. Actually was foul tipped, held on to by Aleo. Strike 3. And now it's Ryan Santos.
Back to the top of the order we go here for the Maple Leafs. A lot of speed here in the leadoff position.
Right on the outside corner, strike one. "56 strikes and 38 balls. Really good numbers for Owen Boone, but Toronto Maple Leafs have just fouled off a lot of pitches, worked really deep into counts. Pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Boone has walked just 2 and given up only 2 hits as well. And if Pedro de los Santos does come into this game, it's going to be a brutal transition for Toronto Maple Leafs batters, because this is a hard-throwing guy in Owen Boone, and then Pedro de los Santos is historically known for his really, really slow breaking balls.
It'll be a very big mix-up for these hitters, who look like they've been beginning to start to time up Boone here, as Santos takes that one right off the ice cream truck, I think.
Yep. Two. Big pitch coming here. Ryan Santos looks in, now Boone's delivery. Over the inside corner, strike 3 called. Owen Boone got it with a nasty breaking ball. And now there's 2 outs, and Jose Vinicio has a tall task to try and at least drive in a run, as scoring opportunities have been limited from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Working around it, and again, you just got to tip your cap to Owen Boone, who has looked godlike on the mound so far today for the London Majors.
2 pitches away from 100 from Owen Boone. Vinicio hits one in the air, foul down the left field line.
With that last strikeout, he sits 10 on the day. And if any of you at home had the over-under, I hope you took the over, as he has done magical work.
Well, if they took the over on runs, they would have lost.
Over on strikeouts.
Oh, okay. 0-1 here to Jose Vinicio, a guy with a bit of pop, but ultimately will hit for a high average this year for the Maple Leafs. Really good bat-to-ball skills as he gets the bat to the ball here. High and deep to right field, and the catch is made by Starling Joseph on the warning track, and the Maple Leafs are retired in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 London Majors. You're watching Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. So new pitcher into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they trail 2-0. The London Majors, top of the sixth. It's Marek Deska who comes into the game, a IBL veteran, 36 years old. Last year with a .364 ERA, fantastic numbers, one of his best seasons to date in the Intercounty Baseball League. And he mixed up starts and coming in relief. Came into 10 games last year. 7 of those were starts, 29 innings. Here's a pitch skied in the air. It's Keith Candell. Jose Vinicio goes out and comfortably makes the catch at shortstop, 1 away.
And this game continues to just kind of be that pitcher's duel. But you look at it, it's just been a little bit in favor for the London Majors. Obviously breaking through. They got that run early on in the first.
Yeah, we're good.
And then in the fifth.
Just got a visit in the broadcast booth from GM Jeff Lounsbury. Fly ball to center field. The speedy Santos comes in and makes the catch, 2 away. Jeff Lounsbury had a heck of a job to put together this Maple Leafs team this season.
And so far, done a really good job getting everything going here.
The biggest thing, bringing all the players back that were on the team from last year. When you go through a change of coaching staff and GM and a bunch of players, sometimes hard to retain all of those players. But, I mean, this Toronto Maple Leafs team went to the IBL finals last year. And on paper, just from looking at the experience that they're bringing in with the Dominican players and the young players on this team as well, it looks better than what we saw with the Toronto Maple Leafs last year. So it'll be exciting to see. And, I mean, not to mention bringing in an all-star coach as well in Rob Butler.
Yeah, you said it best. You got a good mix of veterans. You got a good mix of young, talented players who are really hungry coming into the league this year.
So after 2 quick outs, the count now 3-0. Now 3-1 to Dan Battle. Maple Leafs have had trouble getting this guy out today. 2 for 2 on the afternoon. And then low ball 4. So Dan Battle reaches in all 3 of his at-bats, and it turns things over to Austin Wilkie, and this is where the Maple Leafs have had a bit of trouble when the bottom of the order gets on, and then the big bats come up again for the London Majors.
And Wilkie has just done damage in that number 1 spot so far today. 2 for 3 with a single, double, and a strikeout. Scored once, and that was all the way back in the first, and that's what opened up the scoring for us.
Pitches a strike over the outside corner. It's a good time to be a London sports fan. This London Majors team looks really good, and then their hockey team, the London Knights, in the OHL finals, trying to win the Robertson Trophy as well. Playing the Peterborough Petes.
London sports doing a good job.
It might be a little while before the Majors get the sole amount of attention in the league, because if the London Knights win this series, they go on to the Memorial Cup, and that's a whole nother run. Two outs, runner on first. Pitches outside to Austin Wilkie. Now it's 1-2. As Marek Deska was working ahead. Marek Deska's strikeout numbers were up a lot last year as well. 32 strikeouts in the 29 2/3 innings that he had. Pitch to Wilkie, check swing, didn't go. Pitch was high.
So far, he's looked very dominant since coming into this game. Got the fly out, the pop out to the shortstop, and then this fly out to center field. Trying to avert from any kind of damage. So here,
up and away. And that walk that Marek Deska issued to Dan Battle is pretty rare of him as well. I mean, if you look at the nearly 30 innings pitched that he had last year, just 9 walks. He's never had a season in the Intercounty Baseball League where he's walked more than 13 in a season. So Austin Wilkie fouls it off down the right field line.
Which kind of shows how much of a dominant pitcher he's been for this team. Very reliable guy, reliable arm in that bullpen for the side of the Maple Leafs.
Runner goes again, pitch fouled off. And there's another veteran for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Chris Nagorski, the Intercounty Baseball League saves leader for the Barrie Baycats. All-time saves leader in Barrie. Fouled off again.
Good fight we got going on right here between batter and pitcher, excuse me. Wilkie having a great day so far. And Marek Deska just fighting.
Chris Nagorski in the Leafs bullpen as well. We'll likely see him come in here after Marek Deska is looking for a bounce back year after last season. Check swing foul again. That one might have stung the hands of Austin Wilkie.
He's up there fighting. Not sure what number we're on right now. Has to be around 8 or 9 pitches for this at bat.
Yeah, he's made Marek Deska throw 18 pitches already in this inning, and he was clean 1-2 in the first 2 batters. I think he got the first 2 batters on 5 pitches. Yeah, that's number 9. So this is pitch number 10 of this at bat, and it's fouled off. Oh my goodness. This is going to be an 11 pitch at bat for Austin Wilkie. And credit to Marek Deska. He has had to throw a strike 6 or 7 pitches in a row now against Austin Wilkie, and he has.
Wilkie just keeps on fighting. I mean, these are good pitches he's fouling off too. You gotta think, what can Deska throw to finally get something by him? See,
it's got to be a strike.
it has to be a strike.
Up high, ball 4. What an at-bat. 11 pitch at-bat. Austin Wilkie reaches. That's back-to-back walks for Marek Deska, but you can't really blame him on that one. Austin Wilkie just would not give in. Now there's first and second with 2 outs.
It's one of those at-bats where you just got to tip your cap to the hitter. Worked a great one, and he got rewarded for the base on balls.
Tommy Reyes-Cruz steps in. Reyes-Cruz 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout this afternoon. Deska's 0-2 is inside, and it gets away from Justin Mara. Both runners will advance. And now a 3-0 count on Tommy Reyes-Cruz, and Marek Deska's in danger of walking 3 consecutive batters after getting a quick first 2 outs.
Yeah, if you're Marek Deska, you just need to take a little bit of a breather here. Obviously, you started off the inning very, very hot, but since then, like you said, on the verge of going 3 straight walks.
Way inside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk from Marek Deska, and the bases are loaded for Cleveland Brownlee.
Another dangerous spot here. And you have a dangerous hitter in Cleveland and Brownlee coming up to the dish.
Tommy Reyes-Cruz and his career at Faulkner University walked in just 51 times in his 347 plate appearances, but that one was rather easy as Marek Deska wasn't close on all 4 pitches. There's a strike to Cleveland Brownlee. So Justin Gideon led the Inter-County Baseball League with 19 home runs last year, but Cleveland Brownlee and his teammate Robert Mullen were right behind him with 15. Brownlee fouls it off. Justin Mara not too far behind as well. Actually, he was the 4th place with 11.
A lot of power between these two teams, and it really showed why they've been in the finals the last 2 years. Good competition when these two square off.
The crazy thing is, a lot of people will know Dalton Pompey playing for the Toronto Blue Jays in Major League Baseball. Well, he came down and played in the Inter-County Baseball League last year for the Guelph Royals. He hit .381. And, I mean, Cleveland Brownlee had comparably better numbers. As here's a ball to the backstop, runner's coming home, and he is safe. 3-0 London Majors on a wild pitch by Deska. And the Maple Leafs now have a little bit of a deeper hole to climb out of, trailing a good London team, 3-0.
And obviously those ones are hard to see. The wild pitch, 1 strike away from getting out of this unscathed. That one hurts. You got to look at this at the top of the order as well as the bottom. Really, the production you've gotten from your number 9 hitter as well as the leadoff for the side of London has just been astronomical today. All 3 runs either scored by Austin Wilkie or Dan Battle. So those two doing amazing work for the Majors.
Yeah, 9-1 in the order. Looks like the Blue Jays with Kevin Kiermaier in the 9th spot.
Very much does.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on a 3-2 pitch to Cleveland Brownlee. So once again, the London Majors load the bases and score 1 run and lead 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. And the bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs becoming more and more prominent as they're going to try and need to get something going against Pedro de los Santos, who comes into the game. So Jordan Castaldo stands in, facing new pitcher Pedro de los Santos. And the first pitch is up and away. De los Santos he's an interesting guy. Doesn't throw the ball particularly hard, walks a lot of batters, but in 2021, those walks didn't hurt him at all. He was the best pitcher ERA-wise in the Intercounty Baseball League with a 2.19 ERA and a 7-2 record. But last year was a much different story. A 5.66 ERA, gave up 83 hits in 60 innings. Castaldo fouls this one off 1-2. And it seems like it's a matter of that really soft breaking ball being located or not being located, because it's hard to hit when he throws it well, but last year had a bit of trouble with that.
Yeah, and you said it best there, partner. Very different from what the Toronto Maple Leafs team was facing.
That's a good breaking ball right there. Swing and a miss by Jordan Castaldo.
Very different from what this Maple Leaf squad has been facing so far today in Owen Boone. You know, struck out 10 today. Obviously, now that Pedro de los Santos is in the game, his line score comes to an end. But struck out 10, walked 2, and just looked so dominant against this Maple Leaf squad.
And here comes the adjustment period for this Maple Leafs team as well. Hard-throwing Owen Boone, soft-tossing Pedro de los Santos. The timing is going to be way off on these first couple at-bats. There's a fastball inside. 2-0. In there for a strike, 2-1. Pedro de los Santos started out his career in the Intercounty Baseball League as a Toronto Maple Leaf in 2017. And has had up and down numbers ever since joining the IBL. Works back into the count here now, 2-2 against Justin Mara. Mara hits one on the ground, and there you go. He was way out in front. De los Santos wasn't covering the bag, then decided to cover and just gets there in time to beat Justin Mara, who can't believe it. And there's 2 away.
And you can hear the displeasure from the faithful here on the side of the Christie Pitts Hill.
Yeah, that was a really close play at first base. Pedro de los Santos, I don't think, realized that the first baseman was fielding that baseball.
If we had the ability for replays, we would be going to one right now.
You do at home. You can go just double tap that left side of your screen if you're watching on your phone. Take you back 10 seconds. I think you can use the arrow keys on your computer. Yeah. Line drive. Actually, that was a chopper off the plate, and it's misfielded by the second baseman. Graham just couldn't get the glove off that high chopper. That was an interesting perspective that we had up here because it looked like it was a liner, but it was actually just tomahawked right off the plate. And Graham had the tough decision to either come in for that ball or take it on a hop, and he tried to come in, but took a hop anyway, and it ended up being a very difficult play.
And nonetheless, a base runner now for the Maple Leafs as they try to get one across.
Julian Russell, the batter. Russell, broken bat to first base, softly hit, Battle makes the play, and the inning is over. Pedro de los Santos works around the error and continues to lead 3-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. So veteran pitcher Chris Nagorski comes into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Has had a bit of an up and down couple years over his last few seasons in the Intercounty Baseball League, and had a gap of 3 years where he didn't pitch. Had a 2.45 ERA coming to the bullpen in 2018 with the Barrie Baycats, then came back last year and had an ERA of 6.75. So Chris Nagorski maybe trying to have a bit of a bounce back season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. First pitch is popped up. This one's playable for Murray. Sprinting down the line, diving, and it falls in fair territory. It's going to be a leadoff double. As the wind maybe knocking that ball down a little bit or creating some problems for Justin Murray out there in the outfield. You could tell right away that he was having a bit of trouble when those strides started getting a little bit longer, and then unfortunately for the Maple Leafs, that ball actually did fall in fair territory, so a leadoff double for De Oleo.
The wind tunnel right here really just kind of playing into effect. It looked like he had a beat on it at first, and then it just kept on carrying towards the line, and he was obviously just unable to get to it.
Starling Joseph comes into the game. Runner at second. Maple Leafs will need to limit the damage as much as possible. This might help a little bit. Fly ball to center field. Ryan Santos is there. He makes the catch, one away.
Making it look easy out there in center field.
Brent Graham from Burlington, Ontario steps in. 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. And what was kind of a rocky start for Toronto Maple Leafs pitcher Julian Jr. Valdez kind of leveled out a little bit, and I don't think the Maple Leafs will be too upset with what they saw from their Dominican starting pitcher this afternoon.
Yeah, for sure. You look at the final line score. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 3 walks, 1 run, and 2 strikeouts for Julian Jr. Vasquez. And really, like you said, it wasn't a bad start, to say the least. You know, trying to get your feet set here in the IBL. And I think he did just that. The first inning was a little bit rocky, but he settled down after that and looked more like himself.
Yeah, the Intercounty Baseball League is a league where, as a starting pitcher, your goal is just give your team a chance to win. And had the Maple Leafs pushed across a couple runs early on in this ball game, they would have a much better chance to win it, limiting the London Majors to just 3 runs this afternoon. So a good start, and we'll probably see him a little bit more stretched out as the season goes on. Nagorski's 1-2 is popped up. This looks playable for Jordan Castaldo. Near the dugout, he reaches over, and he made the catch. He went out of sight there in that Majors dugout, and there's 2 away.
And since that, that leadoff double down the right field line, Nagorski's done some good work here coming out of the pen. Yeah. Holding strong.
Had to retire some tough hitters too with Starling Joseph and Brent Graham. First pitch in there for a strike. Keith Candell was showing bunt. Candell 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Eight hits total in the ball game in the top of the 7th inning. 6 of them going to the Majors. Candell hits one on the ground to the third base, and it squeaks through, and that one's going to be devastating for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The runner coming to second, and he's safe. Keith Candell lags it out. It'll go as an error on Julian Russell, but it took a wicked hop off his foot, and Jose Vinicio couldn't reach it either, so the run comes in to score, and it's 4-0 on a bit of sloppy defense from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Unfortunate play right there, kind of hits off the glove and goes really into no man's land right there in shallow left field. And with both players crashing, the shortstop and the third baseman towards that baseball, no one was left on second because the second baseman went to go get the ball.
And you got to feel for, as this one's in the dirt, Nagorski's going to get charged with a wild pitch. You got to feel for Chris Nagorski because he was a ground ball away from getting out of a leadoff double against the middle of the London Majors order. And then the play isn't made at third base, and Nagorski is going to have to battle, and now he's got a runner at third base with 2 outs.
That one hurts a little bit, obviously, if you're a pitcher. You think you're out of the inning, but now you got to throw a little bit more.
Andrew Lawrence stands in. He's 1 for 3 this afternoon. It's a little chopper towards the first baseline. That one's going to roll foul. And credit to Julian Russell as well. He is not the Toronto Maple Leafs regular third baseman. You'd have to imagine this season that will be John Salazzo, but not in the lineup this afternoon. Liner, one hop to Mara. He has to come up to get it. Throws on to first, right on the money. And the Maple Leafs will surrender a run, but Chris Nagorski, not a bad outing to say the least. Just the leadoff double and then gives up the run. On the air, we're through 6.5 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. 4-0 London Majors. It's Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. Former Hamilton Cardinal Robin Fox Pappas takes strike 1. Pedro de los Santos out of the mound again, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him finish the game barring any trouble. Pedro de los Santos with a lot of starting experience. Pitch is just outside 1-1.
Robin Fox Pappas so far 0 for 1 in the day, walked his last plate appearance. Trying to spark any offense that he can for this Maple Leaf squad. They've been relatively quiet today. Only 2 hits across, and I believe 2 walks as well. 4 base runners total. 3 walks.
Two and 2. Count now on Fox Pappas. Swinging a ground ball to third base, just foul. De Los Santos came in relief 7 times last year. Started out his Intercounty Baseball League career as a relief pitcher. Just made 10 starts in his first 4 seasons. That's including playoffs as well. Full count on Robin Fox Pappas.
Something really methodical about watching his breaking ball come in from the left-hand side there. Just a nice, slow break.
Fastball just inside. Fox Pappas takes his second walk of the afternoon, and he's aboard.
Yeah, looks like we'll be getting a pinch runner on at first.
We'll let you know who it is as soon as we find out.
Once we get the information.
If I had to guess, I would say that's Yoshi Ishihara coming out of Japan. I believe that's who it is, yeah, at first base.
Dan Mara back up to the dish. Singled last time up.
So yeah, we hear it on the PA there. That is Ishihara.
Nice call there, partner.
Thank you. Yoshi Ishihara is coming here to the Toronto Maple Leafs with a goal of obviously playing baseball, but I think he also wants to learn English as well. So being around a bunch of English speakers here on the Toronto Maple Leafs, I guess trying to learn the language a little bit better.
Tends to help a little bit when trying to. Good little story there. We'll see if we can get an interview at the end of the year. See if how much.
Yeah, that's the goal.
See how much it's improved.
Ishihara with a massive lead at first base, but not going. Pitches in there for a strike. It was a 3-0 count to Dan Mara. Ishihara takes an even more aggressive lead, doesn't go. Pitch in there for a strike. Dan Mara takes 2 consecutive fastballs right over the inside corner.
Now raise the question here. Full count, runner on first. Would you see him take off?
I think Ishihara is going. He looks like he has a pretty good lead, as Pedro de los Santos is aware of that as well. And remember, with the plethora of breaking balls that de los Santos throws, that's a good pitch to run on if you're Ishihara.
Still a big lead over there at first, even with the lefty looking at him.
Pedro de los Santos to the plate. Pitch is way inside, ball 4. So smart base running there from Yoshi Ishihara. Doesn't go, advances to second on the walk anyway, and now there's a lot of speed out there if he wants to score. 2-1, nobody out for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and here's a big point in the ball game here, and it's J.J. Hutton. Pitching coach is going to come out and have a chat, knowing the point in this ball game is a big one for Pedro de los Santos. Braden Farrington, looks like that's who it is in the bullpen, warming up. Braden Farrington has had a couple really good seasons with the London Majors, and would be a fan favorite in London too, being from London, Ontario. Thing about Brandon Farrington is that he, and the situation that he's going to come into is going to be one where he could inherit a decision as he's coming in the 7th inning. Hutton bunting, but he can't get it down. It goes foul up the first baseline. Braden Farrington hasn't lost a game. Remember, he's a relief pitcher, so they don't lose a lot of games. But Braden Farrington hasn't lost a game since 2019, August 2nd.
Wow.
It was a 17-10 loss right here to Toronto. Hutton swings and misses, strike 2.
Just kind of shows really how well of a player he's been the last
Solid.
couple of years in the IBL.
Solid out of the bullpen. Swing and a miss by Hutton. He goes down swinging, and that might be a point of contention after the ball game. Hutton can't get the bunt down, goes down swinging, but now it's Ryan Santos.
Back to the top of the order we go. So far on the day, 0 for 3.
Santos was squaring to bunt. He takes a strike.
Looks like he was thinking it might have been a little bit high. Nonetheless, we go again. Third baseman playing that half and half.
Slow breaking ball from De Los Santos. Finds the zone again. It's 0-2. And that's interesting. Daniel Procopio warming up in the bullpen. He was a big signing for the Toronto Maple Leafs late in the year. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pedro De Los Santos, 2 consecutive strikeouts. And the Maple Leafs in danger of stranding one of their best opportunities to score with first and second, nobody out. Now first and second with 2 outs and Jose Vinicio.
And Vinicio last time up had that big fly that took the ball to the warning track. So trying to break the ice here for the Maple Leafs again.
Pitch is high, ball 1.
Good take on the outside right there by Vinicio, who's been very active today at shortstop. A lot of good plays, quick feet, good throws over to 1.
2-0. Vinicio ahead in the count. Swing and a miss. Slow breaking ball again. Pedro De Los Santos was kind of fired up after getting that breaking ball over. Looks back at his own dugout. Here's the 2-1. Way outside. 3-1. Hitters count for Jose Vinicio, 3-1. Here it comes, in there for a strike. Another nasty breaking ball from De Los Santos.
And with that, full count, runners will be on the move. Big moment in this game. Will the Maple Leafs be able to get any momentum back? Big pitch coming up here from De Los Santos.
Runners will be going. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Maple Leafs, you'd think, would need to scratch one across here. Vinicio swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. Strike 3. To the top of the 8th we go on the London Majors, and Pedro De Los Santos holding on to a 4-0 lead. So new pitcher on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs is an exciting signing that they just, well, the most recent signing that they had. 27-year-old Daniel Procopio, right-handed pitcher. He was a 22nd round draft pick in 2013 by the New York Mets out of Central Technical School from in Toronto, Ontario. And then he didn't end up signing after that draft, so he got drafted in the 10th round 4 years later in the June amateur draft by the Los Angeles Angels, and that was out of Niagara University.
Very exciting pitcher to see here. Don that blue and white. And so far looking really strong.
And the big thing for the Toronto Maple Leafs too is that he will not occupy one of their import spots because he's coming out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So a player with no roster restrictions for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and a good one as well as he misses outside 2-1. Procopio came up in the Los Angeles Angels system. Pitch high, 3-1. Made it as high as AA for a couple games. Latest was in 2021, playing in the Houston Astros system where he played parts of his season with a couple different teams. High A ball and A ball. It's a swing and a foul, 3-2 now. Daniel Battle has reached base in every one of his plate appearances this afternoon.
2 for 2 on the day. As well walked.
Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Justin Murray. He's going to have to be quick. Throws down to first, right on the money. And first batter, first strikeout for Daniel Procopio.
And that's one of two really big batters to get out here late in the game. When you look at Dan Battle and what he's done today, it's a huge first out for Daniel Procopio.
It's always exciting for Maple Leafs fans and coaching staff to kind of see what they got with the new pitcher. Good start. Yeah, first strikeout in his inter-county baseball league career as well. Ball fouled off down the right field line. Back to the top of the order now for the London Majors. It's Austin Wilkie and then Tommy Reyes-Cruz on deck.
Wilkie worked an amazing at-bat his last time up. I believe it finished as a 12 or 11 pitch at-bat.
And now he hits Austin Wilkie. He's going to head down to first base.
Double stroll, that's definitely what we missed, right?
Austin Wilkie on base for his third time this afternoon. Yeah, that's not a stat they're probably going to keep track of. Shout out to Gus on graphics today.
Done a sensational job on the graphics. A little bit of scares, couple here and there with battery life, but
Yeah.
we're all good. We're all good.
Opening day, 8 new players in the lineup. Pitch is up and away now, 1-1. Austin Wilkie's the batter on first base. Tommy Reyes-Cruz at the plate, and Cleveland Brownlee awaiting on deck. Broken bat, hit on the ground, scooped up by Russell, only plays to first, he makes it. 1 away. Austin Wilkie moves up to second base.
Nice play over there by Julian Russell. Had that little bit of a miscue the last inning. Nice to see him make the clean play.
I also don't think Julian Russell expected to be starting at third base today with John Salazzo out of the lineup. Procopio looks in. First pitch to Cleveland Brownlee. Check swing. That was a breaking ball that ate up Brownlee. Strike one.
That's nasty movement on that breaking ball. Starts at your hip and then just runs to the middle of the plate.
The 0-1. That one's way inside. 1-1. Cleveland Brownlee is 0 for 3 today, but he does have a couple walks. Has an RBI, standing out there at second base in scoring position. Brownlee takes again. It's a fastball that was inside. 2-1. Edward De Oleo on deck, hopeful of an at-bat. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Dan Mara fields, throws on a bounce to first base, picked out of the dirt by Jordan Castaldo. Good first inning by Daniel Procopio and his Toronto Maple Leafs debut. We head to the bottom of the 8th, and the bats for the Maple Leafs are coming up, and it's a dire situation, trailing 4-0 against the London Majors. Toronto Maple Leafs have just 6 outs to work with. Jordan Castaldo is going to lead things off and had a nice pick at second base. A good play by him and Dan Mara to retire Cleveland Brownlee. Pedro de los Santos back on the mound. Got in some trouble in the last inning. Runners on first and second, nobody out, but was able to work around it. Now 0-2 on Jordan Castaldo.
Yeah, so far today, the bats just haven't been able to get anything going against these majors pitchers. It's been a tough one to say the least. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of getting used to the speed and then having it change up on you here with De Los Santos.
Pitch away outside. Pedro de los Santos fell off the mound on that pitch. Braden Farrington continues to warm up in the bullpen, as well as Adam Mara in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen. Two-two. De Los Santos has tossed 40 pitches to this point. Here's a ball hit in the air pretty well, carrying out to left center field, back at the wall and banging into the wall, making a sensational catch is Austin Wilkie.
And right there, wow, you just got to tip your cap to Wilkie. Have yourself a day, sir. Ball kept carrying, and he did not care that there was a wall.
Yeah, that ball was stung by Jordan Costello. I thought maybe it had a chance to go, but not quite. Up and in for ball one on Justin Mara. Maple Leafs don't need home runs right now. They need some base runners. Try and scratch across a couple runs. They have been able to get to De Los Santos just a little bit, but Pedro De Los Santos in clutch fashion has got himself out of a jam.
And still just pitching very, very well.
Fouled straight back. Strike two on Justin Mara, and now the wind's starting to blow in from center field once again. In the dirt. Gets away, now full count on Mara. Way inside. I think that actually hit Justin Mara. He'll head down to first base. So there's a base runner for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they got Julian Russell coming to the plate.
Julian Russell on the day, he walked his very first plate appearance. Try to keep on going. Get something going here.
Heading the count, 1-0. Pitch in there, 1-1. Julian Russell played baseball with Alderson Broadius University. As he hits one on the ground, this could be two to second for one, on to first, not in time. So now two away and still a runner at first base for the Maple Leafs. Justin Murray has the power to tie this game up. It is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. De Los Santos looks in. The first pitch to Murray is way inside. Inside again, 2-0. Justin Murray is an imposing presence in the batter's box, standing at 6'4". There's a strike.
6'4" and some very vicious hacks.
Yeah.
So far today.
Two 2-1. There's another vicious hack, but that was a breaking ball from Pedro De Los Santos. Justin Murray was hunting the fastball, didn't get it. Now the count's level at 2. Inside, ball 3. Runner's going to advance. Good base running there from Julian Russell. That ball didn't get away far from Deoleo.
It was a good read, very good read on the base paths right there. And again, it kind of seems like a similar theme where Maple Leafs get a runner onto second, but haven't been able to capitalize. Let's see if Murray is going to be able to change that right here.
The 3-2. Inside, ball 4. 2 base runners now for the Maple Leafs. And it's going to be a first IBL at bat for Yoshi Ishihara. Yoshi Ishihara, then Dan Mara. Another visit out to the mound for Pedro de los Santos. Braden Farrington is throwing darts down in the bullpen, so I almost wonder if Ishihara isn't retired here, if they might ask Braden Farrington to come in and get a 4-out save. They're going to leave Pedro de los Santos in the game. Yoshi Ishihara was playing college baseball before this. Now here in the Inter-County Baseball League with the Maple Leafs. Ishihara, big cut, rips it down the left field line.
I like that. Coming up in his first at-bat, being really aggressive. Swinging on that first pitch.
Up and in, 1-1. Yoshi Ishihara trying to deliver the first RBI of the season for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Somebody needs to break the ice, and he's looking to be the one to do it.
2-1. Hit down the line, fair ball. That was going to roll all the way towards the corner. Ishihara racing for second base. Justin Murray is going to hold up, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are on the board. It's an RBI double by Yoshi Ishihara.
And a big hit in a big time spot. And what a way to get your first IBL hit. Good for Yoshi Ishihara. The line drive double too, right down that third base line. Nothing soft about that one. It was smoked past a diving third baseman, and I believe that'll be the game right there for De Los Santos.
So Braden Farrington is now going to have to come in and try and get the 4-out save as Pedro de los Santos' afternoon is done. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. It's Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. So Yoshi Ishihara with a big 1-run double, And the Toronto Maple Leafs are on business if Dan Mara can find a way to get this ball into the outfield. Braden Farrington is the pitcher.
Yeah, single to the grass there will definitely score 2 with Ishihara's speed there at second.
0-1 to Dan Mara. Braden Farrington, righty v righty. Pitch hit into center field. It's going to drop for a single. Ishihara's getting the wave and it gets through the center fielder. Dan Mara racing into second base. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are within 1. A 2-run single by Dan Mara.
Great at bat again. And the boys in blue and white have woken up. A 3 spot in the bottom of the 8th, cutting this lead down to 1. Wow.
What a turn of events here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now, with that ball getting through the center fielder, Austin Wilkie, the runners in scoring position again for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Swinging a line drive down the line, fair ball! Dan Mara getting the wave. The game is tied on an RBI double by J.J. Dutton. Braden Farrington comes into the game and the Toronto Maple Leafs explode for 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th.
And that's gotta feel great if you're J.J. Dutton. On the day, he was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and comes through with maybe one of the biggest hits on the day. It's a brand new ball game, partner.
That one was a fair ball, but just fair. It nearly hit the line. Farrington, a breaking ball is outside.
All of this with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
And remember the stat I brought up earlier? Braden Farrington hasn't lost a game since August 2nd, 2019.
On the verge of it right now.
A single from Ryan Santos would break the streak. Slow breaking ball finds its way in there. 2-1. Gutsy pitch on an 0-2 count. Farrington looks in. Santos, the batter at the plate. Slow breaking ball just outside, 3-1. Jose Vinicio looms on deck.
So far, a great at-bat right here by Santos, working the count in his favor. 3-1. Let's see what he does here.
Swinging a broken back ground ball to first base. It eats up the first baseman. Throw to first, not in time. The runner's coming home, and he scores! Oh my, J.J. Dutton! What a heads-up play to take the lead.
And you know what they say, speed always kills. And the speed by Santos, unfortunately, gets thrown out at third.
Oh.
He beat the foot race to first, he won. The foot race to second, he won. Tried to take the extra base and just couldn't. But just like that, Toronto up on top 5-4. Wow.
5-run, bottom of the 8th inning. And just like that, whoever's coming into the game, this is now a safe situation with a 1-run lead. And we'll have that for you in just a couple of minutes. It's Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. So Adam Mara is into the game, the side-winding lefty for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he has a big task. De Oleo is the first batter he's going to face, and then Starling Joseph is on deck. Mara's pitch, big swing and a miss by Oleo. 0-2.
Last time up, Oleo, that double, and he came around to score. It was the little fluky hit down that right field line.
Over the inside corner, strike 3 called. What a pitch from Adam Mara. And he gets the veteran, De Oleo.
Freezing him on that inner half. What a pitch right there. It's the Mara connection right now between the battery.
Yep. Adam Mara, a 6.67 ERA. Last season in the regular season. As he takes a strike. Starling Joseph the batter, and Mara, his problem last year was just he pitched to a lot of contact. 29 and 2/3 innings pitched, just 16 strikeouts and 38 hits. But he gets a strikeout and a big one on the first batter. Joseph skies one in the air. This one's to left field. The wind is knocking it down. And coming in and making the catch is J.J. Dutton. 2 away.
Ooh, if that wind was blowing any other way, partner, I mean, oof, that's a tricky one. But a big sigh of relief from the fans here in attendance for the Maple Leafs.
That pitch to Starling Joseph looked like it was a bit out in his hands, though. I don't know if that was a pitch to hit or not. Swinging a ground ball, Vinicio deep in the hole, and it gets under his glove. A base runner here in the top of the 9th. Jose Vinicio patting his chest, saying, "My bad there tomorrow." That could have ended the ball game. Now it's Keith Candell. Adam Mara looks at the runner at first, now delivers, pitches high to Candell.
Candell reached on air his last time up. That was back in the 7th.
Pitch, check swing, did he go? Yes, he did.
Home plate umpire with the call saying he did.
.297 batting average last year for Keith Candell, known as a great defensive shortstop for the London Majors. Pitch hit on the ground, second try for Jose Vinicio, flips to second base, in time to get him. And the Toronto Maple Leafs get 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, and then a save by Adam Mara. And they've won the home opener here in dramatic fashion at Christie Pitts.
What a way to end the game. It was a duel for a majority of this one. The bats were sleeping. In the bottom of the 8th, it all started to click, and it all started with the fielder's choice hit by Julian Russell to get that one going. And what a way to end that game.
So the final line score, 4 runs on 7 hits for the London Majors and 5 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors apiece for both of these batters. Well, from Thomas West and Zach Benoit, I appreciate everyone tuning in here on Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, and we'll see you next Sunday.